Okay, welcome to game number 8 of our necromantic run. We are the underdog this game, just by a tiny bit. So this is our team. We've got 2 flesh golems with nothing added. We've got a guard wraith and a jump up wraith. We've got a mighty blow wolf and a block wolf, and we've got 1 ghoul and 12 players, 3 rerolls. We are up against Fangs for Fun, who have what looks like a just slightly better version of our team in general. They've got a block flesh golem, they've got a block sure hands ghoul. They have got 2 wolves. They haven't got any added skills on the wolves, so that's where they're behind us, I guess, is wolf development. But they have got guard on both wraiths. We obviously chose our random gamble on one of our wraiths, which in the long run could be good, but I have to admit, in the short run, you do end up thinking guard would just be better. So we'll see if our mighty blow can make a difference here, because otherwise I think their team looks a bit better than ours. They have won the coin toss, and they're taking the ball in the rain. I would have kicked to them in the rain, so I think I'm glad about that. Gonna do this. Gonna do this. Gonna do... Wait, where's my... Oh. The ghouls look a bit too similar to the zombies sometimes. I sometimes nearly put the ghouls where the zombies should be. Which is not a good idea. Not a thing I should do. It's kind of weird that we've gone this far with so little ghoul SPP, but I guess our first ghoul died. And like, it's not a bad thing. We've got loads of wolf SPP, which is really nice. But yeah, you kind of expect the ghouls to get more just because they're the natural ball carriers. But I guess because one died, and then we had that game in the rain when we couldn't pick the ball up, it slowed us down a bit. Overall, getting that stuff. Are you being put on the line? I don't think you're on this team, Morgan Jambo. Oh, is that Lady LeFay with a different name? Because I see the LeFay, in which case, yes. Brilliant coaching. Gives... I swear that's like the 3rd time we've had brilliant coaching come up, and every time it's been a draw. Which is fine, I'm just curious that that's happened every time. Okay, KO on the first hit never bodes well. The ghoul is Chris Frozen. Oh, after being put on the line. I've misread your messages. Am I being put on the line? I misread your message, I'm sorry. I can't read. Okay, so we're down 1 off the line, which is not great, but not the worst yet. They've still got their blitz to come. I feel like this coach is already moving in a way that makes me think they know what they're doing. Like, they're being cautious. The same conversation I've been having about trying to hold the centre of the pitch. They're definitely making like a clear line here to hold the middle of the pitch. So I think they are. Look, this is going to be a tough game. Just a first instinct, but I think the way they're doing it makes me think that. I'm very jealous of their sure hands with the rain going on. Just a push. Protecting the positionals. And going at the ball. Which they don't get even with the short hands. Okay. This is one of those games now where I wish I was on my usual elves, because you'd want to get some pressure on this right away, and I just don't feel like with Necro you really can get pressure on this. It's not that easy to move forward quickly. Because most of your team is slow. Yeah, you've got a couple of fast ones, but the team is mostly pretty slow. I'm going to use this blitz here with the wolf to kick out that loner, because it's off there doing its own thing. And I'd like to create a bit of forward pressure with it. The problem is, as soon as you do that, that wolf's just getting hit. So actually, I don't even know if I can do that, because I can't put forward anything to support it. So we'll just leave that there, and at least that Zombo is now in an awkward spot to get up. Yeah, it's just really hard. Really hard to do good things with that. Which is such a shame, because it feels like when your opponent's struggling to pick the ball up, you want to do something about it, but... I think the opponent, I should also say, like, that was very sensible, again, by the opponent. They made their wall, but they also made a second screen here, which meant that you couldn't just flood into that space. So even with elves, this is a nice setup for making it harder for your opponent to put forward and push forward and put that pressure on. Like, all sensible good decisions here by my opponent, I think. I think this is the best target. We've got our block. The block fleshy is really nice as well. Jealous of that as well. Very nice to have that option to blitz on strength 4 reliably. Nearly broke our armor, but not quite. Oh, okay. We're getting a bit more involved here. They want the fight. Interesting. Okay. They've got more guard than us, and they've got block on that fleshy, so pretty nice set of advantages to have for the brawl. I was not expecting this level of aggression. And now I am scared of it. They are doing as badly at picking the ball up as we did the other game. This is surfable. But do we commit to surfing it? I think it's better just to take the knockdown, honestly. Please move that guard. So now, what we could do is throw our claws into this flesh golem, which I like the sound of because it also allows me to move this wolf forward. Create some pressure. Oh, it's going to be 2 into 1. I think I can't hit those 2 rushes. Power first time, that's always good. Claws do a thing. That should be a removal, shouldn't it? Oh no, they've got thick skull. I was going to say, because we got the claw here, and so we have the maestro still for the injury, but yeah, they have thick skull. Okay, fine. We've created a little bit of forward pressure here, which I like. And this is, unfortunately, a lot more awkward. This will be 2 into red. So just roll the power the first time. Always the right answer. We leave that zombie there probably. Yeah, now we've got some actual pressure on this pickup, right? Like we actually could even get all the way down there if they fail this pickup again. So after not previously having any pressure, they now definitely have some pressure to deal with. And they've committed everything forward now as well. So before they had a nice extra screen here. Oh dear, but we are getting outbanged. Good regen. But we are on 9 for the drive. I like the non-stand firm to get the wolf hit back. I'm not sure which one you mean. So many hits we're giving up. Ugh. Okay, so they've got 2 wolves and a zombie free to act. They have not blitzed yet. But this is an awkward blitz target for them because of the side step. And obviously the foul appearance. They have to bring something back here, right? They can't just keep these forward because if they fail this pickup again, they really are in trouble. Oh, yeah. I see what you mean, Jock. Yeah, I think I would have thought the same. Not giving themselves a hit on my wolf. It was a missed chance for them, wasn't it? Fail. Oh my god, their pickups are even worse in our game than were the other game. Well, that's quite handy, isn't it? Wraith can get onto that, and the wolf can even hit it if we can free this up. So of course we rolled a 1 in 9. Fine. You go there. Right. Turn ordering tree. Stand things up. That's very, very nice. I think this flesh golem, just keeping that wolf from getting involved is a good thing. Come back to me in a second when that flesh golem has died to the wolf's claws. I'd like to dodge that. But I think we just got to go for this first. I knew that was going to fail. Snaked it! No! Snaked it into an injury, into a regen fail. Well, that's probably game. Because that's literally like half my TV or something. Yeah, even if they don't score on their drive now, I think they'll be fine. I mean, opponents had some pretty rotten luck on those pickups, but that's like kind of unrecoverable from, well, obviously because it's injured. I'm glad it wasn't a perm, I guess, at least for the team, but yeah, this feels like feels kind of game ending because we now can't punish this, right? We can't recover the ball because we've now lost 2 of our ball carriers, including the one who was right next to it. So the only hope is they keep failing enough that they eventually don't score. And then we'd have an offense which is likely to be players down because we've lost so many players. Like, both KOs would only get us back to 11 now. And missing the most valuable one. I mean, they might genuinely not score because they can't pick the ball up, but yeah, just not sure how much it's going to matter with us not having a team. Everything's a one. Nice. Probably we should try to dodge this wolf. I hope that they will eventually fail something. Probably we should dodge that and make them blitz it. Probably that comes first. Maybe I shouldn't have done that one. If my opponent can't pick the ball up for 16 turns, can't lose. I mean, that is pretty much how we lost the game in the rain. It was because we just literally couldn't pick the ball up for the entire game. But our opponent had the advantage of having a 1-0 lead before that started, whereas here we are still at 0-0. I can't remember a game where my opponent failed this many pickup rolls. This is crazy. Like, 4+ is only what Khemri do most of the time. And you never get Khemri missing this many pickups. Does get it. Guess we'll come back this way. Boo! They pick the ball up. And they've got enough time still to score. No, probably that's GG, because if they get this touchdown again, like, this is looking... Well, I don't know. I guess if we get our KOs back, maybe it's going to be alright with one wolf. It seems tough. Because, like we talked about at the beginning, like, their team is basically ours, but better in pretty much every way except for the wolves. So to lose our best wolf is kind of the one thing that made our team competitive. You never know. Cheeky one deep out. Don't think it makes a huge difference, but I think I will let them push me. Rude. Extra rude. I'll be honest, I think there's no chance we stop this. So I'm a little tempted just to go for this mega high roll. Of just try to roll crazy dice and surf it. Because I think there's no chance that we're going to win the brawl now, right? Like we're down 3 players on the pitch with 3 stuns. Next turn they just move the ball up to here. What are we going to do about it? So just going to see if we can roll out of 6s. Which we can't. Because anything else is just getting things up to be punched, which, given that we're already down on numbers, don't think serves as well. So we just try the high roll, and in the likely scenario where it doesn't work, you just stay lying down. They can foul us now, and they probably should, because they've got a bench. But again, like, what are we going to achieve by giving them more hits? At least with a foul, it's 1 per turn. If we stand things up, they can claw them as well. There has to be a reason for it. There has to be a thing that we're going to gain from it. Hey, Baradan. This game has been such a tease. Like, that was like such a game-winning moment for us, right? When we got the wolf down there and we had the wolf and the wraith over the ball. And it was only possible because they failed a heap of pickups, like 8 pickups in a row or something. But still, it was like a game-winning position. And then you roll that one snake and suddenly it's a game-lost position. It's a very, very Blood Bowl tease. To go from, oh, you're probably going to win, to, oh no, you've just lost. So they get 1 more foul. They probably won't foul on turn 8 because they haven't got a bribe. So if you foul on turn 8, you might not score. Jump up will be pretty sweet. Yeah, I guess you could take jump up as a... I don't know if I'd like taking it as a chosen skill though, because there's just so many better things you could get. As a random skill, you wouldn't hate it on the agility because it would only be 10,000 because they have the agility access. But if you're taking it as a chosen skill, you're just... because you only get 6 skills on a player, and you definitely want to give... you definitely want to give it dodge, you definitely want to give it... I think mighty blow, you want to give it... block, that's already 3 skills. And after that, given that you can save for stats, I would say that those things are probably all better value than jump up. So like if you're going to try to make it cheap and save and get the random for it, I think maybe, but I think if you're not, it's probably a bit of a tough one to justify. Okay, so that does get sent off at least. Doesn't change that they have 11 players for the second half, but we might be able to chip something on the line on our turn 8. We will see. Got one of our KOs back, so now it's unfortunately not the ghoul. So right now we've only got 1 ball carry for the second half, so we really need that ghoul to come back. That does probably mean, well, we probably can't do a 110 anyway. It depends if they put their, depends who they put on the line. Like in theory we can 110 here, and at the moment they are putting their flesh golems up here, which would mean we can do a 110. The problem is who's going to give the ball to the player who 110s, because we've got a wolf but we've got no one to give the Wolf the ball. I think we'll set up for it and hope we get a touchback, but without a touchback, I think it's not realistic. But let's set up for it anyway, just in case. Never hurts to give yourself the chance. One, two, three, 4, 6. Hit that there. Push into you, push out to there. With the touchback, in theory, it can work. It is not a touchback. It's a quick snap, which still doesn't do any good for us. These can't pass. They don't even have a passing stat, so it's literally not possible, sadly. But I'll show you all what I was thinking anyway, which is in bits here. And then if you go to push, you've got the start of a 110, but we're not going to reroll for push because we can't do the 110 because we can't get the ball to them. See if we can get some fleshy SPP. Nope. We could foul. The risk of the foul is that we kick ourselves down to 9. We're currently on 10. Upside is we could take them down. I think it's probably not worth it. We did get our goal back. Okay, that's good. So we're on 11 players, and we have got 2 that can carry the ball. I think there's a chance to fight for a draw here. I still think it's really tough because we are down our most valuable player, whereas our opponent has only lost a random zombie. But we get to hit first. It's our drive. Let's see if we can make it happen. Something needs to be done about concessions because it affects the random. The extra GPS leaves people cycling expensive positions in a way that was never intended. I'm not sure I fully understand the thought here. I mean, concessions definitely can be frustrating. I have mixed feelings on concessions because I always think I say this quite a lot. Like, I think I'm softer on concessions than lots of people are because in the end it's a board game. And if you're having a miserable time, I think feeling stuck in a board game that takes an hour to play, to me it's just like it's not that deep, right? Like, let people live their lives. But I do understand when you're on the side that gets conceded against how frustrating that can be to lose like your SVP and stuff. And so I don't know, I think I have more confused feelings on the concessions than some other people do. High kick would be amazing if we could just catch it. We just caught it. My opponent will probably be quite annoyed about that. Given how many times they failed to pick the ball up, they'll probably be quite annoyed that we just caught it for free on a high kick. Oh, and that's a nice start to the drive. Okay, so we've got a numbers advantage. Good job. So salty salt. Four, 5, 6. One more would make this into a 3 nice. Which of these do I like better? I don't think it makes a huge difference. I'm going to take the power though. Please be KO. Please be off. It is. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, yeah, that was a very nice line of scrimmage then. Getting rid of a couple of players, including the ghoul. Very nice. Slightly surprised they let us hit the ghoul, because the ghoul is the most fragile out of all of them. One, two. I think it's okay. Watch me live to regret that with those two zombies there, but we've got the guard locked in between them. Nice removal. Yes, Christopher, so my Rebel playoff game will be on Tuesday at 7 PM UK time. Opponent gave me radio silence for a couple of days, but they replied last night, and we've locked in for Rebel playoffs Tuesday, 7 PM UK time. GPS is in gold piece. Oh, that makes sense. Well, you get extra gold piece. Oh, I see what you're saying, Morgan Jambo. I've only just worked out what your thought is. So what you're saying is the concessions actually are helping the team to get conceded to because they get extra cash, which means they then can cycle players more aggressively. I do see your point on that. That's interesting. I hadn't considered that side of it before. And this is what I dislike of a lot of ladder things. Concession timeout is probably the best compromise approach. Stops people spamming concedes, but it lets people quit out if they're having an awful day game. Yeah, I actually think you might be right on that, Rightful. I think I've taken a while to come around to it, but I think over time, I think the way you've just explained it is probably how I feel about it as well. Like it gives you the choice of saying, you know what, like I need to stop playing right now, but the thing with that is you've got to go and cool off. Like you can't just then go straight into another game and do it again. So if I don't stand firm, it has to go to this square. If I do stand firm, stops you from jamming on that. I think I do stand firm. It's not going to be a great place to stand up, but... Ooh, fails the rush. Does put in the reroll. So that stand firm, I think, did force him to spend a reroll there. Opponent is going full basing on this one. So very different approach to my approach. It was more standoffish. And as I will keep saying, I don't know what I'm doing with necromantics, so they may well be right to go this way. They don't have a strength advantage on the pitch, but it feels like they do because they've got the two flesh golems. I'm sorry, because they've got block on the flesh golem and because they've got the two guard on the wraiths, whereas we only have one guard and no block flesh golem, so it feels like they have a strength advantage even though they don't. At least to me. May not feel that way to them. We are going to get some blocks this turn, so let's just have a think. So obvious thought is if we hit with either of these two, if we roll a power, then we can free up this ghoul without needing to dodge. That's obviously nice. We could also hit that one with block, which has its advantages. So I think maybe we'll choose to do this block first, because then we'll see if we need to do this one. Okay, great. So that gets the power here, frees that up, and so we don't have to worry about dodging. And now we can use this one, which has got block to block straight ahead. Block is a good skill. Not quite what I was hoping for there, though, because I was hoping we would get the power and then I could bring this assist in and we'd have 2 dice on that flesh golem, which we now don't have. We just have the 1 dice. So, what do we do about that? Opponents using their guard and their strength really well here, right? Like this is a mess for me. Just to say it, like they've got a situation here where I can't take any of these hits and they can take all of them. And I haven't really got an out for that other than maybe trying to knock that flesh golem over with my flesh golem. which feels pretty sketch. Good blitz there. I need it to be a POW. Lucky for me it is. Now I get 2 dice here. Just do not give me a knockdown. That's a bad reroll. Probably shouldn't have done that. Oh well. Oh well. I did it. Ball is at least temporarily safe. Doesn't feel very good. We have to stop. Not great. I think I should not have spent that reroll. Easy to say when you fail it, right? Like if I'd made the POW, I would have felt good about it. So.
What was your favourite moment of the lap bowl?
But this is good by my opponent. They've used their guard really well there. My guard has effectively tracked 3 players. They get hits on all of them. Two of them would block as well. Well, that saved us 1 knockdown at least. This is just going to stay here. This is the thing I was talking about before a little bit. Like, so we're 2 players up, which is obviously great, but because we've got to guard the ball, it doesn't feel like you're 2 players up. Like the player advantage is lost on having players look after the ball. Claws into our wolf. Spends the reroll because they know it's going to go into a less good hit second time round. Gets full reward for it with the armor break. Wow, that is a difference between when you roll POW on your reroll and you don't. Very bad news for us now. So yeah, that would have been into a 1 dice, wouldn't it? Okay, we just get a push here. That's pretty nice. That means we can slam our guard into those 2 wolves at least. That's almost certainly just got to get up. And you probably just become that Flesh Golem's minder. Could we just casually kill a wolf maybe? Because that would be pretty nice. Dead wolf? Not even dead. Right. My thoughts exactly. Okay, stone's still helpful. That's very nice. Could block here, don't have to blitz here. Would allow me to blitz somewhere else. Just don't know if I've got another blitz that's any good. Guess we could blitz that on a 1 dice. Doesn't seem that great, so I think we just blitz this.
The assist gonna be enough to come out on top.
Uh-oh.
There's only one word to say.
Okay, well, at least we can just jam you in there. Then this does not feel at all safe, but it's about as good as it's going to be. I really want to foul this, but it's not a very good foul. And I probably need that to screen, so... It's a temptation to dodge that because I think it could be handy, but on the other hand, it's a 4+, which we're not re-rolling, and at least if it stays there, it forces you to spend an action blocking it. So it's doing something where it is. Maybe it's not doing as much as I'd like, but it's doing something. Hey, Remison, how are you? Jump up trues after we did a random, which I think is a good random, but at the same time, yeah, I wish I had guard. Every game I wish I had guard. So in the long run, I think it's good. In the short run, I think it's pretty bad. And we haven't managed to get any SVP on this since. So I think probably the longer it goes, the more I'm going to regret it. Can I do a little tutorial on the push 110? Is it possible to make that sprint? It definitely is. And I have thought for a while that I should do a 110 video. So watch this space. But yeah, I need some time set aside to do it. But yeah, it is definitely doable without a sprint. You can do a 110 with movement 6 without a sprint, but it requires a crazy amount of luck and also for your opponent to set up a particular way. I've never done a movement 6 without a sprint. I've done movement 7. Movement 6 requires a lot, including having the brain power to solve it. Just had your first game with Tabletop Blood Bowl yesterday. Buggers back with a vengeance. Nice. It'll be good to have you back. Where have you got a local league where you are, or? Oh wait, hang on. That was your first tabletop ever. Oh, tabletop is the one that will give you the bug in the biggest way. Tabletop Blood Bowl is different gravy. Okay, they're going to go for... Oh, I thought they were going for the ball for a second. They're going for that one in front of the ball. Okay. They are out of rerolls, our opponents, so any dice roll that go wrong for them now are very bad. However, they have not rolled bad this turn. They've got 3 stuns on us this turn, which is making this look pretty flipping bad from our point of view now. Yeah, don't see how this ball's going to be even a tiny bit safe next turn. I think we're going to have to just chuck it up somewhere and pray next turn. If we can even dodge away, which we're going to have to do. It's looking like there's a very strong chance for potato in our near future. These stuns are brutal. Like, okay, that double skull at least means we free up that zombie. For what that's worth. But yeah, these stuns are real bad. Real bad for us. Not what we were hoping for. There is a world where we surf a werewolf this turn though, so let's see if we can live in that world. Okay, I don't hate them standing, not standing firm here. I think this actually does me a small favour, not like a major one, but a small one. That, on the other hand, pretty bad. Pretty bad, that one. Not gonna lie about it, that's maybe a total disaster. Okay, that falling over helps. Stun is good, right? You need to go somewhere. Where? Oh, you might foul that at the end of the time. Everything's still bad. This is not how I wanted to do this turn, but at least that has given me somewhere to dodge to, which is something. We can now not surf this, unfortunately, but we can at least hit it. Which again is something. So in an ideal world now we're going to dodge. This being stunned is helpful. So if we can dodge into there, we can then move that around, and actually we do have the ball screened. We can dodge. Yeah, that stun there actually winds up being quite helpful. Okay. Well, not amazing, but we live to fight another day. And next time we'll get those 3 stun players back at least. Hey, Kindrin. Yeah, well, I was thinking potato, but then we got blocked from going forward, so we had to tuck back into our cage, such as it is. See if there's a way forward on a future turn. We do get our 1 guard piece hit, which I do not like. I like it even less as it gets seriously hurt. It's going to make not even a regen, so yeah, that's going to make next game rough as well. But yeah, that's really bad. We really probably should have just given this guard. The random secondary for agility is a really interesting idea, and I think eventually it could make this piece like a good value piece, but in the short term it's so bad not having that extra agility. When you spin into this mirror matchup, you just really see how much you want that guard, because it's already tough enough with 2 guard against 1 guard, and having no guard for a future game is going to make it a whole lot worse. Oh my god, alright, just murder my whole team. Another failed regen. Broken arm is not a big one because it's passing ability on a player that can't pass, but we might have to fire and rehire that because I don't want to be down a Wraith and a Flesh Golem next game. That has made this position that I thought was maybe still salvageable probably not salvageable. We need to high roll like heck from here. That is the only way out, is with some very high rolling. Okay. Thank goodness we did manage to knock it down. Just needs to sound up. This is not good. This is not safe. It's just the best we can do, that's all. Got to do the second one. Oof. I don't know. Maybe I should have rerolled that. It's a tough one. Maybe I shouldn't have tried it. It's definitely a better square to get into, but... Pitchfork Wraith is fun. Yeah, we got the cosmetics, so it would be a bit easier to distinguish our wraiths from opponents' wraiths on the pitch, which it helps for a little bit. It's not like super obvious, but it helps a little bit. Man, just was starting to think I actually might be able to make this work, and then they got those removals exactly when they needed them. Yeah, feels a bit rough. Feels like it's been a bit rough, but keep on fighting. They are out of rerolls. They could roll a double skull. They've already rolled one double skull. Do with another one. It's not a knockdown at least, so makes it slightly harder for them to get there. Play through here now. Oh, they needed that. I needed that to fail because, yeah, that was going to go into an uphill. Oh, no, it wasn't. That's their flesh golem. That wasn't going to be uphill at all. Okay, now they've got 2 dice in the ball. Well, in dodge we trust. They have to roll a both down or a pow. They have got 2 dice. That is not a both down or a pow. So, again, we will have some chance. Not saying it's a good chance, but it's better than no chance. Do you have jump up here? I think we need to ask to work. And it does. Just a push. Pow would have been huge, but we did not get a pow. Probably we just have to do the 1 dice into 1 dice here, I think. Stand you up. Because we're just trying to give ourselves the dodge out. Nice. Run, Chris, run. Hey, well, we've given them 3 turns to score back, but we scored. Which, honestly, for how this has been going, I'm pretty pleased with. Yeah, they've got a very good chance to score back unless they can keep failing their pickups in the rain. Which they did do pretty badly on in the first half. But we scored. Gonna feel good about the scoring. Because we worked really hard for it. Best we can do. We are on 9, they are on 10, I think. But yeah, the only 2 missing for them are 2 zombos, whereas we are missing our best wolf, a guard wraith, and a flesh golem. If they didn't have sure hands here, things would be really interesting. But yeah, they've got the built-in reroll for the hardest thing they need to do. I mean, having said that, 3 turns, there's a decent chance they'll need to hand off. It really depends on the kick, but there's a decent chance they'll need to hand off here in the rain, so fingers crossed. No. No, they will not. They're getting a short kick and a high kick. They didn't catch it, so they still just have to pick it up, but yeah, they shouldn't have to do a handoff because of their short kick. It means they can just use their movement. I mean, there was a world where we could try to stall on that last turn instead of scoring, but it was a pretty risky world. That's a pretty risky choice as well. That hasn't got block. With no rerolls, that was a 1 in 9 away from turning the ball over with the floor. Ball still on the floor. Taking some risks here, doing things without block skill, but it's working out for them. Hoping for a fail, basically. I would have wanted to at least put something more in front of the ball before doing all this without block. Yeah, I think they could have covered the ball better before doing those blocks without block. This one's a bit less scary because it's got block. But and a rush, my goodness. Yeah, they are not afraid of no rerolls, are they? It's braver than I would be, for sure. And they still can't pick the ball up. Okay, well that gives us some hope. Obviously, we still have a lot of work to do here. I think all these zombies just have to stand up, make them roll the dice. Gonna come and get in front of this as best we can. So rush as well as a foul appearance. Give that dog a job to do. So we'll go 2 into 1. Just keep it there rather than risk the 1 dice. Bring this forward. Can't spend the reroll on that. It's pretty bad though. Not the dice we were hoping for that turn, but oh, it's got block, boo. This is where it's like tough on their side as well, right? Because we've talked about this a few times. Like the team is fast in some ways, like it's got fast positionals, but the team is also really slow in other ways because most of your players are movement 4. So bringing the ball forward safely is like a real challenge. And my reason for putting this here is you can just blitz this free, but then you've used your blitz here, which means you can't use it over here. Oh, it gets the full power on the goal. That sucks. Full power and armor break on our 1 dodge piece. That definitely hurts. Now you get the block on that one as well. Yeah, that's gone very well for them. Okay, at least it didn't break armor. But this is in range. Genuinely incredibly bad. Genuinely incredibly bad pickup dice for them. Can't say they haven't been. They have rolled an extraordinary number of fails on those pickups, even worse than we had the other game. So, what's in range? That wolf is in range. This ghoul is in easier range. So, probably we just have to 1 dice here and then see if we can base the wolf as well. That works out great. So that's now not a threat. We'll put that on the wolf, which makes the wolf's life much harder. I think since we were able to do that, we probably just stand that up. probably it, isn't it? So the only scoring threat here is this wolf. That one's not in range. And they don't have an easy piece free to blitz it free. They have to pick up and hand off in the rain. I think that's as good as we're going to do. If I bribe enough, I feel like I didn't bribe them enough because we've taken some damage. But yeah, the failed pickups definitely are doing some work for us. Okay, that makes your dodge out easier. But we're still looking at a 5+ handoff here at the moment. They do make the pickup. They do not make the catch. So we do get the 1-1 draw somehow. That was a very messy game of Blood Bowl. My goodness. My opponent must be extremely frustrated about the pickups. I certainly would be. You've seen me get very frustrated about similar struggles picking the ball up. Nice MVP for us. So Salty Salt we can give dodge now. But yeah, a bit of a bruising one for the team. I think we'll just fire and replace Raven because they've got 0 SBP and we've got the bank. And I feel like we're going to keep making enough bank, and being down a Wraith next game is going to be pretty painful. So being down a Wraith and a Flesh Golem sounds maybe too much. We will definitely take dodge here, I think, since we've already got our Mighty Blow one. We'll have one more flexible wolf. And I think we're going to give Chris Frozen. So the ghouls, we haven't talked about their level ups yet, because this is the first one we've managed to level. I think there's 2 obvious choices for your ghoul first, which is either block or sure hands. To me, I think this decision might also come down to how you've built the rest of your team. I've obviously got 3 rerolls at the moment. I think if I had 2, I would definitely be more inclined towards the sure hands. But I think with 3 rerolls, probably just getting blodged. Yeah, exactly like Holly's saying. I think it's probably the way to go. We'll have a quick chat about the other things that you could do. So if you wanted to roll a random on this player, block great, fend not amazing, pro. The thing with pro is it's nice to have, but it's never great because you don't want to rely on a pro reroll for an important role. Sure hands great, dauntless not really what the job of this player is. Same for frenzy. You've got wolves. Shadowing you don't like because you don't want to base things with it. Tackle could be good, same as triple, I would say. If you also get wrestle, you could definitely have a ghoul be your sacker, although on necromantic, when you've only got 2 of them, that feels a lot more iffy to me than on undead, where you've got 4 and you can afford to build that way. Kick is not a horrible skill for 10,000. It's nice to have on the team, and you're not going to put your ghoul on the line, so it'll be in the right place to use it, but not something I would suggest on a baby ghoul when you've got other things that you want. Dirty player, I think that's one for the zombies, isn't it, really? Agility skills, you've already got dodge, which is the most important one. Catch, no, not good enough for this player and what it's doing. Diving tackle, again, you don't want to base with your ghouls because they die. Leap isn't a good enough skill anymore. Sneaky git, we don't want because it's a fouling thing. Defensive, save for the strong pieces of guard. Safe pair of hands just isn't a great skill. Sprint, sidestep, sure feet. I think if you're going to develop a 1-turner, you're probably better off doing it with one of the wolves, to be honest. So I don't know if you're really even that interested in those. Jump up. For 10,000, you wouldn't hate jump up. If your ghoul gets knocked over, it might give it its range, but it's just not. There's just not much here that's doing much, really. I think the strength skills, without going into too much detail, it's just not the role of the player. So I think you really are just looking at the general skills, and I think we're going to go with block. I think the obvious choice is a block or sure hands, and I don't think you want to random on that piece when you've only got a couple of them. So because this is a choice to fire Raven and not a mandatory one, we will let Raven keep their spot on the team as we simply refresh them out of that passing bust. The passing bust itself was not a problem, but obviously the MNG was the problem, and we had the cash to fix that problem, so let's just fix it. And yeah, that was game number 8 of the Necromantic run. Team's looking okay. It's going to be a tough next game without our guard piece, but at least that is just an MNG. If you're watching on YouTube and you are enjoying the content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. In fact, I'm going to hire an extra Jumbo as well, just so we've got 12 for next game.